All right, we're here at the Connexion Mobility booth. We're going to be talking about the Quickride integration. I'm with my new pals Shane Bell, Fernando Uribe, and Rob Atkinson. Thanks so much for joining me today.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
So tell me first and foremost a little bit about Connexion Mobility and what the offering is.
Yeah, so my name is Shane Bell. I'm with Connexion Mobility. We're really excited to be here. So Connexion Mobility, we are a holistic mobility solution. We support automotive retailers in moving people, parts, and vehicles. We help solve for a multitude of items such as shuttle management and fleet management, rental, courtesy vehicle management, you name it. Whether a vehicle has their own in-house fleet or they're operating ride hail, we kind of help solve for all of that, all within one platform.
And for Quickride, we started it back in 2017, and we do shuttle management software. Started by Rob over here and a couple of other service directors who wanted to solve for that problem of the super annoying shuttle that they have to deal with every single day. And we partnered here with Connexion last year to really bring both of those things together. So they kind of pioneered the loaner space for General Motors for a long time. Now they're branching out into saying, okay, how do we bring all the mobility needs of a dealership together in one to save the dealership's time, save them money, and really make everything work together? Because at the end of the day, there's a need for all of these things in the space at a dealer, right? Yeah. So how do we do it efficiently? How do we do it properly? And we feel like Connexion is just such a great partner for doing that together.
I love what you're bringing up here. We had chatted a little bit before we hit record, and you brought up the fact that, yes, there's the tracking element to it, but also there's a very real, almost like reputation element to this where the rideshare game, that a lot of dealers are employing just isn't working. So I know you've got a lot of experience, a long history working in dealership. What are you seeing from that perspective of, how maybe ride sharing is becoming obsolete, dare I say?
Well, it allows the client to build a rapport with your shuttle drivers and your staff, and they're already boots on the ground at the dealership ready to take your guests and pick them up. And they don't have to call the dealership to get a ride share back. Once they get dropped off at their workplace or at their home, they have the ability to quickly click a link, and one of our shuttles is on the way to pick them up. They start building a rapport with those shuttle drivers and your staff, and they're getting picked up and delivered by a product that's your product, not a non-brand product, which the dealerships are promoting their products and their people, and it helps them promote those items.
It reminds me of when I was in business school, and they said any business that can control as much of their operation as possible without having to outsource it really wins the game. Correct me if I'm wrong, but that kind of sounds exactly what we're doing here with Connexion Mobility and Quickride.
Oh yeah, of course. I mean, everybody who's ever been to a Target or a Best Buy and they see the Apple products not as displayed as nicely as the ones at the Apple store, right? The dealership, when they control that experience, they can really say, okay, well, I know what my customers are going to get. And there are times where a dealership does need ride shares, right? A customer's been waiting too long, or they're a VIP, or they're going, kind of in a weird direction where we don't normally go. Yeah, that's a really good opportunity to use that. But, if a dealership is spending $18,000, $20,000 a month, which is not uncommon on ride share, we can really easily bring that in-house, right? And say, okay, how do we work with Quickride and Connexion to really say, how do we use our loaners and our shuttles efficiently so that we can bring those costs down, use it smartly, and you kind of use that all together? That's part of the immediate goal. It's part of the long-term goal of all of these things working together.
Now you're interviewing. Did he just say $20,000 a month on? Is this a thing, really?
That's honestly probably average or median. There's dealerships that have spent much more than that, yeah. And it's hard to put guardrails on that, right? So if a customer comes in and says, hey, I need a ride home, it's very easy to just go in there and say, okay, cool, I'm going to type a couple things in and send that out. If we're doing that hundreds of times a month, and then on top of that you've got other people maybe going out and saying, okay, maybe I'm going to use it to go pick up lunch, or I'm going to use it to bring somebody in here that maybe wouldn't have used it normally. When we have the shuttles, we have those things here in house, let's just work on using those things together and making sure that everything is being used when it's supposed to be used.
Rides never get canceled. So
Your rides never get canceled.
no, your shuttle drivers are there for the ride, so you never get canceled, and it's really easy to build that rapport and also find something that somebody left in a shuttle because they're your shuttles, right? I also like the fact that you can, if you're a dealership that's trying to push the green initiative, put a couple electric shuttles in there. You don't pay for gas, and you're making a good footprint for the green, for the greater good of all of us, right?
First of all, I heard, I'm still stuck on this. We're talking about there's an Uber driver out there right now says, I don't need a 401k. I'm contracted to a dealership and I'm making 20 grand a month. And now you're telling me they're going to steal my sunglasses if I forget them. So talk to me a little bit about the GM dealer program that you're offering. Why should GM dealers be focused in on this and considering it in particular?
Sure, yeah. So for two reasons mainly. The first is we started at a GM dealership, thanks to Rob. So it's in our DNA, it's in our blood. We know what GM dealers and all dealers really kind of need out of this software. But really importantly, dealerships are losing money, realistically, if they're not using something like Quickride to manage their shuttles. Because our system tracks how many of these rides they're giving to customers that come in for warranty work. They get reimbursed by GM. Ford does this as well. Stellantis does this as well. And a lot of people just don't track that. If you have that clipboard, in the lounge where you sign up, that thing goes in the trash usually at the end of the night. It doesn't go to your warranty administrator to then file for those warranty claims. So we're going to be able to capture that information. More importantly, GM dealers already have Connexion on track. They probably know it better as on track. They already have Connexion mobility in their dealership. So why not use Quickride and Connexion to handle that? And over time, part of the next phase of the integration is we're actually going to be syncing that information automatically. So in real time, we're going to know if a customer came in for warranty work and got a shuttle. So dealership will be able to request the maximum reimbursement that they're eligible.
They manage their fleets for mobile mechanics and for their parts fleets as well. This tracks all mobility. You have the ability to use it in many different fashions and facets. So
This is fantastic. We're here at NADA 2024 at the Connexion Mobility and Quickride booth. Shane, Fernando, and Rob, thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you for having us.